Okay, if you were to tell me last October that my internship for this summer would be virtual, then I would say that you are crazy. I think it just goes to show you that you never know what's next in life, so you just gotta take it one step at a time. And in today's video, I'm going to reflect on the valuable experiences that I gained from my virtual internship. What's up everyone, my name is Zoe Saikoski and welcome back to my motivational YouTube channel, Zoe's 2 Dots on Life. I love to give my 2 cents, or should I say 2 dots on life, every single Saturday, so make sure to subscribe to this channel for more motivational content. So today is going to be a reflection of the lessons that I learned at my PepsiCo supply chain virtual internship this summer. I'm someone that really likes to reflect on previous phases of my life, so that's exactly what this video is going to do. You know, I'm a firm believer in that every single phase of your life brings a new experience and new lessons, and if you don't reflect on them and decide what you're gonna bring and what you're gonna leave behind, then you're not gonna grow. So that reflection piece is key. Reflecting on my life like this just reminds me that life keeps moving forward and there are people, experiences, and lessons that you're gonna take with you into the next phase, but there's also gonna be people, experiences, and lessons that you leave behind. But you know, everything is ever changing and you just gotta go with the flow and keep moving forward. So I'm gonna break down my 2020 year in 4 phases for you guys. So 4 down and there's 2 more to go. So the first phase was my junior year spring semester at Penn State from January to March. Phase number 2 was junior year spring semester at home, turning virtual, and that was from March to May. Phase number 3 was the summertime before my internship began, and that was from May to June, and that's when I really started this motivational YouTube channel. And finally, the 4th phase, which just finished, was my virtual internship with PepsiCo from June to August, and that just finished. So I'm in between phases 4 and 5. I'm in that reflection mode. So phase 5 coming up is gonna be my fall semester senior year already at Penn State, and that's gonna be from August to maybe November, just like depending on the pandemic. And then my final phase of the year, phase 6, will be the rest of the semester and the winter break at home from November, possibly, to December. So in between each phase, I like to reflect on the previous phase. So I thought it'd be neat to make a whole video on reflection on the internship, just because this is a totally new experience that has never really been done before. So I thought it might be something interesting for everyone out there to hear. So to give you an idea, the internship ran for 6 weeks. It was from June 29th to August 6th. And I really broke it down into 4 different parts. So the first part was a functional project with my manager and with my team. The second part was a team challenge project. I was on a team of 6 different cross-functional interns, and it was almost like a case competitions, and like we presented our idea to the Pepsi Shark Tank, which was so much fun. So the third bucket of this internship was virtual networking. So since Zoom is just like the new norm, the new culture, you know, you could just reach out to as many different people at PepsiCo that you wanted to just talk about their career path, their current role, you know, different career advice that they might have for you. So that was a very valuable experience, just because if I was in one site, I might not have been able to meet as many people compared to being virtual when you can meet with literally anyone on Zoom. And the 4th bucket would be learning experiences. So I sat in a lot of different meetings, I was trained on different systems, I had many different overviews and just trainings about PepsiCo as a whole. So those are the 4 different buckets. So I finished last night, and the second that I closed my laptop, I pulled out a piece of paper and I just started writing down like all the lessons that I learned. And as I was writing them down, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is perfect for a video for the next day. So today I just spent like re-energizing myself, recharging, you know, prepping for this video, and here we are recording it. So this video is going to be a little bit more reflective rather than like technical. So rather than like the technical things that I learned there, it's going to be more of like life lessons that I took away. So the first thing I learned from this internship was what a 9-to-5 job was like. I've never had a 9-to-5 before, so I was really excited to see what this was gonna be like. I know a lot of people like dread 9-to-5 jobs. They're like just waiting on the weekend, and I was like, I don't understand how that can be the culture, but I learned that it is not, and it's all about your mindset, right? So I personally learned that I love the grind. I love work. I just love sitting down. I'm like, okay, this is what I've got to do today. I'm just gonna like grind it all out and then, cross things off the to-do list and keep on going. And it just caused me to work hard during the day. And then I really valued my mornings and my nights. So in the mornings, I made sure to wake up like at least 3 hours before work so I could exercise, I could shower, I could write in my journal, I could just prep for the day, eat breakfast. So I had a really great morning routine in place. And then at nighttime, I made sure to dedicate that time to hanging out with my family or working on my YouTube or, calling my friends. So I just made sure to really watch and manage my time. In addition, it caused me to really value my weekends. So I noticed that I worked on my YouTube videos a lot every single Saturday, which was awesome. And then Sundays, I worked on some stuff for Penn State for the upcoming fall. I learned too that the days just kind of flew by, and I think it was a good thing because that shows that I was really in the flow state and I was really enjoying what I was doing. Whereas I just remember in high school, like watching the hours drag by, whereas this internship, like every day was like rapid fire, I felt like. So the next thing I learned was just that the people you surround yourself with are so important. So, on my team, for my team challenge, I loved every single person on that team. They had so much energy, so much drive, so much motivation to do well, and they cared about like the little details. And not only that team, but just everyone I worked with, my manager, like everyone at PepsiCo is so driven and they're so motivated to give it their all, which that's the atmosphere that I need to be in, and that's the atmosphere that I thrive in. If I'm working with a group of people that, don't really care about what they're doing or don't really care if it turns out that great, then, that I'm not going to thrive there. Whereas if I'm in a group of people that are also just as motivated and just very like-minded, then I'm going to do well. And I also just noticed, I just looked forward to seeing everyone, even though it was just on Zoom, and that was what really kept me going. And I noticed how supportive everyone was and just how everyone just celebrated small successes, which I think was so important because, when you're appreciated and recognized for something, it just keeps you going forward. So the next thing I learned is that I really enjoy being a part of something bigger than myself. So I was kind of debated if I wanted to work for a small or a big company for, a while before this experience, but I just thought about it and I was like, you know what? I'm going to Penn State right now, which is like a big school, and people say, oh, you can get lost in the crowd. Well, no, you create your own niche, you create your own group of friends, you create your own path, and it's the same when it comes to work. A big environment just gives you more opportunities. So working this summer for PepsiCo just showed me that, it might be a huge company with so many people that I don't know, but I form my own network, and then I kind of can create my career path and my experiences in the future. And what was also cool about PepsiCo is just you don't realize how much a part of your life that they are. You walk in the grocery store and literally half the store, I feel now I see PepsiCo. My sister's Zoe, stop going over to all the Pepsi products. Gatorade, Lay's, and Quaker, and there's just Tropicana, so many products. So it's kind of a company where you can jump around to different businesses, which I think is awesome. So the next thing that this internship taught me was growth mindset. So what I mean by growth mindset is just that you're not kind of stuck in your old ways and that oh, I've never learned that before, so I can't learn it. I only know this, so I'm not going to try something new. Whereas this internship showed me that, I don't know what these acronyms mean. I don't know how to use this system. I don't know how to use this software, but that's okay. I'm going to learn. All right, I'm going to figure it out, and it's not the end of the world right away if I don't get it, but there's so many supportive people that can help me out if I ask questions, if I put myself out there. So the next thing that this internship taught me was that you really get what you put into it. Because it was a virtual internship, I probably could have just done the bare minimum, did my project well, worked with my team, but I was you know what? I only have 6 weeks. I need to make the most of every single day. So I would literally plan out like my week, the week beforehand, just filling in literally every single half hour that I could, so that when I got to that day, I wasn't wondering like, oh, like what should I be doing now? Like, no, I had it all planned out. I gave it my all, because you could look at it like, oh, it's only 6 weeks, like there's not much I can do. Well, I'm just telling you, you could do so much in 6 weeks that you don't even know. So make sure to take advantage of every single second of just every single day, honestly. The next thing that I learned was just the importance of asking questions. I feel like I went into it and everyone was kind of saying that, but I don't know. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll ask a question if I need it. But I learned that there was a lot that I didn't know. And this was the first time I feel like I really went into something new, not knowing everything. And, you know, at first I was like, oh my gosh, like this is kind of overwhelming. Like, how am I going to figure all this out? But then I was like, you know what? Like, I can just start here and I can ask this question. Oh, okay, I understand that. Let's understand this next concept. And oh, let's understand the next. And then all the pieces just started to, you know, connect and like fall into place, and I really understood everything. So when you look back, it's kind of like the big picture. So make sure you kind of ask questions on every little detail of things you don't know, because people are going to respect you for doing that. Because if you're just sitting there and like zoning out and not understanding what's going on, like you're wasting your time and you're wasting the other person's time. Another thing that this internship taught me was just leadership skills. You know, the people at PepsiCo are such strong leaders, and I got to meet with so many of them and learn, you know, great leadership advice. And the one thing that really stuck with me is that, you know, when you're working for a manager, right, you're not working for them, you're working with them. It's a team effort. So we need to shift our mentality from thinking like, oh, you all work for me, I'm the manager, to, you know what, like we're a team, we work with each other. And I really saw that team dynamic at PepsiCo, and everyone was there to support each other and help each other along the way. So I think that is key in any kind of leadership position. Another big takeaway was being comfortable being uncomfortable. So what I meant by that was every day I tried to do one thing that put me out of my comfort zone. So that could have been, you know, setting up a meeting with someone who I like didn't think was gonna meet with just me, like an intern. But I was like, you know what? I'm a part of this company too. I'm here to learn. I'm here to get as much out of this internship experience as I can. And it showed me that the people there do really care. So that was definitely my first thing. And then even before the meeting, I remember just like being so nervous before some of them. But then as I kept doing that, like I started getting used to being nervous, and I started getting used to going outside my comfort zone. And if I had a day where I wasn't like getting nervous or like going outside of my comfort zone, then I was like, oh my gosh, like I messed up my schedule today. Like what did I do wrong? So the next big takeaway I got was be flexible, be adaptable, and adapt to change. So what I mean by that is that I was on like the supply chain planning team. So they're all like in charge of creating forecasts. Oh, the demand planning side creates forecasts for like what to expect. And then my team was kind of like, okay, this is how much we need to produce and how much we need to ship out. So the thing is that you can plan as much as you want for the future, but you just don't know exactly what is going to happen and what the future is going to look like. So make sure to plan, but always be adaptable. If that plan doesn't work, then you got to change your plan. And that's what PepsiCo taught me, is that you might have a plan going into something, but it might change, it might need to be tweaked, and that's okay, because if you're stuck in your ways of how you thought it should have been, then you're gonna struggle when it comes to adapting to that change. And the final takeaway I got from it was just learning about the world of sustainability at PepsiCo. That's one big area that my heart is really in, is just like saving the planet, because, you know, obviously we're producing plastic, right? So how do you deal with that? But I learned what goes on behind the scenes that PepsiCo is doing, and it's like incredible to see what it's going to look like in a few years, and, you know, the changes that are being made, and talking to the people, and just I think that diving right into something like working for a company that produces this product is such a great way to help out with sustainability, just because they're the ones with all the resources and, you know, all the innovative thinkers and people that are gonna make the change in the world. So that was definitely something that got me really excited. So I hope you guys got some value out of learning what my virtual internship experience was like. Definitely a memory that I'm never gonna forget, and I really loved this company. You know, I really felt like I blended with their culture and with all the people there. So, you know, we'll see where the future leads, but, you know, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again next Saturday.